Hi, Curtis in Seattle. Today I wanted to show you my 1963 Panzer T70B lawn tractor. I bought this about 22 years ago. Mine looked just like this one with the 6 horsepower Briggs. The only difference is mine didn't have the backrest. Today my tractor looks like this. I'm adding a loader on the front and I'm replacing the fenders and I'm also re-engineering it. Here's the top view of the Kubota EB300. It's a single-cylinder diesel water-cooled engine. Here's a side view of the Kubota diesel engine. The radiator is right there, sits on top of the block. There's no water pump. That's the air cleaner. And there's a compression relief valve there. And then that white knob is prime. Married to it is a hydraulic pump. I've nested a 2.5 gallon hydraulic tank in the grill, and the fill will be up through the middle of the grill. Had to modify that. I have a 1-inch suction line that runs from the hydraulic tank through a filter, which is kind of down in there, and then down to the pump, and out of the pump is a 3/4 inch line that runs to the spool valve. This is the forward reverse valve that runs over to a hydraulic motor that's chain drive to the differential, the original differential. The return line is 3/4 inch diameter and it runs along the strut. And then I've got some supports that are welded there to keep it where it needs to be. The original fuel tank is being used for a diesel tank, but it's been moved. When I bought this engine off eBay, it came with this throttle. It was a military surplus engine and it came with a pump, which I didn't use, and the control box. But the throttle, you twist it for fine adjustment and then you push the red knob in and you can pull it in and out for coarse adjustment. It was very, very long and I ended up cutting it, and then I took a 3/8 brake line and then staked it over it for a splice here. So there's my staking. The lift cylinders are double acting 1-inch bore and 1/2 inch rod. This one is 12 inches stroke, and they're capable of handling 1500 PSI, and I did the math and I'm pretty sure that these cylinders should lift about 350 pounds or so. The bucket tilt cylinder is a 10-inch stroke, 1-inch bore with a 1/2 inch rod. And the lines, one runs up one side of the boom, the other on the other side of the boom. And these are 1/4 inch lines that I bent around, and they run along the boom. And then they enter the uprights there. This is the tightest bend that they'll ever have. I designed and made the bucket. It's weighs about 32 pounds. It's 33 inches wide and a foot tall. And I pinned it. It pins pretty well. So I just need to sandblast it and paint it. I'm reusing the front axle and the original wheels. The spindles are still 3/4 inch diameter. They're the original style of spindle, but I've had them remade with a support gusset that should help with the load. The boom is tapered, and this used to be 2-inch by 3-inch box beam. This is 2 inches now by 2 inches. And over here, it's about 4 inches thick. And what I did is I took the box beam and I cut it at a diagonal and then flipped it around and re-welded it back together so that I'd get this tapered look. I had to drop the frame 3 inches to get the Kubota to fit in so that I could use the original steering geometry. Another view of the original steering gear. I'm replacing the brakes. They used to be a mechanical brake with a hydraulic brake, and this is a dune buggy master cylinder. I'm hoping that that will actuate both the brakes. I've replaced the brake backing plates with 1954 Belvedere backing plates so that I can put wheel cylinders on so that I can convert it to hydraulics. Well, I got the linkage hooked up. Looks like it works. Today I'm working on the running boards. This is 1/8" diamond plate, steel diamond plate, and I'm making a mock-up. I pretty much start all of my work on this tractor with some drawings. This is a side view of the installation. You can see the forward reverse pedal there. Here's the support structure. It's all 1" square tubing, and the running board, which looks a lot like that piece of cardboard you saw a few seconds ago. I'm keeping the original wheels from the Panzer, just powder coated them. And I'm reusing the shroud, although it's been modified quite a bit to clear the hydraulic motor. And I'm replacing the strut that holds up the hood with this aluminum dashboard that I've had engraved with Panzer. There's a low oil pressure light, the throttle. Because it's a diesel, it's got a glow plug. And then the hole to the right here, that's going to be for the voltmeter. This is where the parking brake comes up through. I'll put the hood on just to show you what that's going to look like. This is the original Panzer hood. This is where the gas tank used to come up through. And that hole I'm going to leave so that you can look down and see the sight glass for the hydraulic tank, and there should be a thermometer on that. I'm not sure you're going to be able to read it. And of course there's going to be a exhaust pipe sticking up through, probably a little shorter, and it'll have the original Kubota EB300 flapper on it. And I put an auto style fill for the fuel tank, so it'll have a nice chrome cap on that. And I'll put a picture in that shows the shroud and the dash installed so you can see what those look like. So today I was fitting the dash. This is a dash that we formed out of an aluminum I-5 sign that was knocked over. And so today I happened to trim the top of it. It's going to be the final fastener locations. They went together pretty well. So cutting the hole for the exhaust was a lot of fun. I got it pretty well centered. And the way that I did that was I used a laser level. Using my laser level to figure out where the exhaust would penetrate the hood, so I can cut a hole up here for it. Looks like right there where that cross is. And the laser level worked out pretty good. The only thing I had to do was to shim up the tires 1/4 inch in front and about 1/2 inch in the back to make the exhaust exactly plumb so that this would work. So looks like it's going to be good. I'll cut the hole and take another picture. I put the seat on in the steering wheel. I wanted to show you the loader joystick here. It's going to be a little tight, especially getting on and off. And I think I'm going to have to rebend it or make a new one. I'd like to make it a little shorter, a little tighter to the steering wheel.